Last one. So we'll continue with constitutional design, and today's topic is institutional design. Now, what ideas and values are there in the institution? So, institutional arrangements. This is a big problem with this. Arrangements. So, can anyone tell me what kind of institutional arrangements a constitution can do? We have already discussed this point. That means, yes, this is a new point, but it is from the previous topics only. What kind of institutional arrangements a constitution does? Yes? Okay, sit down. Here institution means the institution bodies like the government bodies which we have, right? The governing bodies which we have, that is the institution here, right? So for that, what arrangements constitution does? Yes, that is very correct. Anyone else? Anything that is correct, Ayushi? Anyone else? So basically it is who will have how much power, that we have already discussed, no? Who will have how much power in the government? That will be decided by the constitution, as well as it also puts the limit on the power of government Now, if you see the institutional bodies which we have, like legislature, executive, and judiciary, how they are going to coordinate with each other, their coordination, and how to limit the power in such a way that no one can control each other's functioning. That is being done by the constitution, right? So how much power who is going to have in the government, that is being decided by the constitution. It also puts the power on the government, as the government, if it will have the absolute power, it may misuse the power, and then it can harm the democracy. So that is why the limitation should be there on the power of government. Now these three bodies, which are the functioning governing bodies of the state, how they are coordinating each other and how they are working in such a way that one should not intersect others functioning. So that is being done by the constitutional. This is how it arrange the things for the institutions. Okay, this is the institutional arrangement a constitution does. Done? Then one more thing we have, constitutional amendments. What are the amendments? Yes. Correct. Sit down. Changes in the constitution, that is amendment. So whatever changes are done in the constitution, that is amendment. So why do we need these changes? Why do we need to amend the constitution? And what will happen if there will be a rigid constitution? That means a constitution which cannot be changed. Yes. Okay. And if there is a rigid constitution, that means if there will be a constitution which cannot be changed, in that situation, what will happen? Suppose a country makes a constitution which will not be changed. There is no amendment section. Then, sit down. Okay, Madhav, let Madhav answer. Okay, sit down. So if there will be a rigid constitution and after 5 years or after 10-15 years, take a long time, 15 years, what will happen? Will the thinking of the mentality of the people be same? It will not be same, because each day in like everything is developing, right? Everything is updating day by day. In that situation, after 15 days, we will have a different type of mindset of the people, and they will not be ready to live a life as per the book, right? This constitution is being made for the people and by the people, right? So the ideas which people have, that has been taken. Now if there will be a rigid constitution, that means you have to follow the thing if you agree or if you disagree. So in that situation, what will be there? You have to live life as per the book, and that is very difficult. Yes, the people will be not agree to follow the book, and live their life according to a book, right? And there will be conflict. They will throw the constitution, they are not going to follow the constitution after 10 and 15 years. Because whatever things are there in the constitution, when it was made 50 years ago, many things have been changed as per today's society and mindset, right? One such example is LGBT law, Article 377. So according to this law, earlier, if you see, marriage in same gender, same sex, that was illegal, right? But and that was morally wrong that time. Huh? LGBT is lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. That was a law 377. So in that, marriage in same sex was illegal. So in that, if you see, that was considered morally wrong that time, right? But in Western countries, if you go, there it was legal. But with the influence of the Western countries, today what is happening? Today, if you see, the people are influenced by the Western culture and they're adopting those things, right? If anyone 50 years ago would talk about this thing, it will be like a crime. If 50 years ago someone is talking the thing like this, they would be considered, it would be considered crime. The people will see them like inferior or out of the society, right? But today, if you see, it has been amended and it has been made legal. Why? Because the people are now influenced, they are adopting, they are changing the things, right? They're updating themselves, their mindset is changing. Now, if people are doing this thing and still we consider this morally wrong or illegal, we have to punish them if they are doing this. And if this number increases, that means this is the time to change, right? So this is what happened. So that is why amendment is needed, and because the mindset of the people are changing. Not only the need requirement, the moral values which were earlier, the things which were morally considered wrong earlier, today the people are doing that, and it is not taken as morally wrong. Okay, so there are many such laws which have been changed, amended in last few years. Okay, any other question? So this chapter is almost complete. If you have any question, you may ask regarding this. Any questions? Okay, Madhav, what do we learn by the South Africa Constitution? South Africa made constitution, no, before us. So what do we learn by that incident? What was good there in that process that we need to study that? Hmm.
So this compared to make the constitution, make the rule for the constitution, rule in the constitution to give the right and opportunity to the blacks.
Okay.
And seeing the condition of the blacks, many rules and amendments were done in the South African constitution.
Is it correct? Class 9. The question is, what do we learn from the making of South African Constitution? That was in starting only we have read. Sit down, madam. Let me give.
The majority promised that they will not take the property of the white minority
Hmm.
and they will compromise with each other and their interests upon each other. But it was not guaranteed that mistrust would not be broken in the future. So there was a need of written set of rules that was a constitution must be made in the country to safeguard their interests.
Yes, that is correct. Sit down. Yes, your point. Question, question is, why we have read this South African Constitution? What we learn from that? Hmm. Hmm. Yes, that is correct. Sit down. Basically, what is the theme of democracy? The theme of democracy is equality. So, equality and justice, that is the pillar of the democracy, right? So, this equality, equal opportunity was given to white people also when black got the power. Being oppressed by the white people, they given equal opportunity to the white people to come and give their opinion in the constitution. So that was an excellent job done by the South African people while making the constitution. Understood? So this equality which was given, and they did whatever was the demand of democracy, right? And that is what we learned from the making of South African Constitution. And that is why we have selected 29 members who wrote the Indian Constitution. Now tell me how these 29 members were selected. That time there was no voting, no? Let others. Yes, Saloni, Sakshi, Shivam. How these 29 members were selected? Because that time we were not having universal adult franchise. So how this was done? Shivam? Okay, by the caste and class, they selected the people. 299, selecting 299 members is not a very easy task from a diverse country. Sit down. State? State legislature. Actually, sit down. What happened? British given us permission, like the people of India, to participate in the state legislature election. So like this, we were already having the Indian people in the state legislature. Today we have state legislature, legislative assembly, no, in each state. So like that, at that time also, they given permission to make the state government, to form the state government in some of the states. So like this, we were having state legislative assembly. Okay, and in that, the people of India were working. Already they had been elected and they were working. So they were knowing, they were having the institutional knowledge. How do institution function? Okay, so like this, what happened? We were already having members, and those people elected these 29 members. Understood? With the single transferable vote, they elected these people. So like this, we had 299 members who has written the Indian Constitution. Now tell me, there were not only 299 members. Earlier, how many members were elected as the Constituent Assembly, member of Constituent Assembly? How many members were elected? Huh? 8 members. 299 members written the Constitution of India. They were already member of Constituent Assembly. But there was division, split. Before split, how many members were there? Huh? What? No. You are telling me the Lok Sabha, that one Lok Sabha, those many people we were not having. No. It cannot be done like that, no. It was 342. 389, sorry. 389. Now, in this 389, why we only had 299 members? We were having the people from all the legislative assemblies. And like this, we were having the combination of all the people. Now tell me, from 389, only 299 has written the Indian Constitution. Left of the people, where they gone? They left. No one is learning nothing. This was very easy. Now I can understand what you people are doing in offline classes. Understood? And what is the result? Okay, so 389 people were elected, not selected, elected. And in this, there was a partition of India and Pakistan. So in this, the people who belong to the territory of Pakistan, they have written the Constitution of Pakistan. So only 299 left. They were from the Indian territory and they have written the Indian Constitution. Now you cannot ask the representative from Lahore to write the Constitution of India, right? So that was the scenario. 389 people were elected from all over India, but after partition, it was split. There was split, and 299 people has written the Constitution for India. Rest written Constitution for Pakistan. Understood? Okay. Now next question is, why do you think the Constitution of India was accepted by the people fully? It is related with this only. Okay, tell.
And so when the people vote that their leaders have put their views according to their area and constituency. So the people thought people have shown their faith of their respective legislatures when member of their area, and so they are just inspired on him. That he would have done the constitution for our welfare. That's why
Sit down. So first thing is its legitimacy, that means its importance, its value. How this value comes? Because 299 members from different diverse group have made this. And after that, the process which was there, What was the process? First, it was drafted, then debate and discussions happened for years, and then there was 2000 amendments done that time only. And after that, after each section, there was rationals. That means reasons given, valid reasons given for each thing. So that is how the process by which it was made. That was the second thing which given it acceptance from everyone. Understood. Now the third thing is, yes. Sit down. At that time, what was the situation? See, that time it was valid. And what B.R. Ambedkar did, that was correct. Now there was a mindset of the people. Yes, many revolutions, many reforms done, many movements took place. B.R. Ambedkar from a Mahar family became the father of the constitution. But still, there were many people who are not going to become father of constitution, like B.R. Ambedkar, who were going from discrimination. Right? So there was mindset of the people that these people are untouchable. To remove that, till now we can see some of the discrimination in the many of the rural areas. If you go to extreme rural areas, so that time you can see how prominent it was in the society, right? That time, everywhere on each sector, who were there? The upper class people were there. All the powers was with upper class people. At that time, if the reservation would not be given to the minorities, they would have vanished, right? The upper caste people would have just thrown them out, right? So to uplift them, that time it was very important. But now the things are changing. It is not like 50 years ago, what was the situation? That is not same today, no? So in that scenario, now everyone is rethinking that still, is it required? Hmm. That was basically done because in the all the good post who were there, the upper class people. And however how much the rules are made, there is people like today also. If you see, what is there, if you have good source and good political connection, you will be getting the job and all, everything easily, right? That is what the thing. That time it was necessary because everywhere upper class people were there. They were not ready to give the opportunity to those people. So it was necessary that government take some step. But now the things have been changed a lot. So everyone is rethinking about this. Now it seems that it is not equal, but that if everyone will think like that, obviously the government will take step for that. That is another thing. Okay, we'll end the class here only because the time is